On today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Jada Toys Robocop reboot 3 3/4 inch Robocop 3.0. He includes two weapons, the same weapons actually that were included with Robocop 1.0. Warning, choking hazards, small parts not for children under 3 years of age. The same Robocop actually featured on the side of the package as the 1.0 Robocop. And on the back, both the 1.0 and the 3.0 shown there. The write-up says, or the read-up says, the year is 2028 and the city of Detroit is fighting a massive crime wave. Alex Murphy is a good cop trying to stop it. When he is critically injured, Omnicorps uses their amazing robot technology to save his life and to transform Alex into Robocop. Part man, part robot, all cop. Omnicorps thinks they own Alex and his amazing new robotic abilities, but they forget one thing: there is still a man inside the machine. Not really sure I like the idea that they keep calling him Omnicorps. Omnicorps. I prefer, it's a shame that they didn't just keep it as OCP, Omni Consumer Products. I know they probably went with Omnicorps because it sounded more like a company, whereas the other one sounded like more of a manufacturer, but I still like OCP, Omni Consumer Products. But that's just me. English, Francais, French, and Spanish all available on this packaging. Other figures that you can pick up, we have the Police Cruiser with Robocop 3.0, the Light Action Robocop 1.0, and Light Action Robocop 3.0, both 6-inch figures that Spot will be looking at. Talking Robocop 3.0 and Police Cruiser Radio Control Bike. To check out more, see the entire line of products, visit us at www.jadatoys.com. What I am going to do is take a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Jada Toys Robocop 3.0 3 3/4 inch figure. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Robocop 3.0 does come with the same accessories that Robocop 1.0 came with. He has the shoulder, it's like a little clamp here, shoulder mounted gun, more of a military style gun. And of course he does come with his same handgun. Now Spot called it the Auto 9. Original, I don't know, they probably don't have a name for this particular handgun. And both accessories, like the 1.0 Robocop, have no place actually to house them aside from clipping them into his hand. You can easily just put them into his hand. And actually, one thing about the 3.0 is it seems like his hand, just by comparison, I'm going to bring in the other one. No, okay, I thought they had different hands, but they have the same trigger finger, which will actually allow you to put the finger actually on the trigger, which is a nice touch. The other handgun, again, you can see it just kind of, it rests against his forearm, and I'm not sure, because yet the movie has not been released, I'm not quite sure how that plays out, but it does look like in the trailer, this handgun just kind of retracts and just kind of opens itself up, which I'm not really a big fan of. And actually, you know what? His one hand is extremely closed. It doesn't also help that this handgun is soft and pliable, that you kind of have to do a little adjusting to get that handle in. But there you go. Just removing the weapons for a second. Let's have a look at Robocop 3.0. It's interesting. It's just a really interesting idea, and I know a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people looking at that suit thinking it's a cross between something you'd seen in Dark Knight and something they would have seen in Iron Man. And I guess to that extent it is. I mean, it looks like, you know, a Dark Knight suit, but I mean, you know what? It's not so much Dark Knight. It's the sign of the times. You know, you got to think to yourself that really, even with the Batman suit was definitely played more toward being a realistic, wearable armor. The same idea that what we would have gotten here with Robocop. The original Robocop was a bulky suit. Sure, you know, it did what it needed to do, and he was somewhat indestructible. But I mean, you know, this suit is much more sleeker design. And also with being Robocop, while you do have the 1.0, there's the 1.0 right there comparison. While you do have the 1.0, it stands out. And I think even in the trailer, they hint that they want something a little more stealthy. So it makes sense that maybe while Robocop is not the fastest person to be sending in, you don't want some big silver robot walking in. It's going to draw attention. You know, everybody's going to know that he's walking into the room. It makes sense from a realistic approach that yes, they're going to want a more stealth suit that can blend in. But I mean, I like this suit. I'm still holding out hope that the reboot is going to be a good movie. He still has his hand, which also is a big debate, but as Spots already talked about in the 1.0 review, we don't even know to what extent this hand plays in the movie. This hand, by the end of the movie, could easily be gone. We don't even know. Of course, if you're watching this video after we've seen the movie, well, then you already know. Face-wise, as Spot mentioned before, the visor goes much further up the side of the dome of his helmet than what it does with the original 1.0. In fact, there's the 1.0. You guys can see the difference between the two. I like this. I like this look where this is more like a shinier dome, and then we've got the matted coloring of his armor behind. Of course, unfortunately, the same problem that I had with the 3.0 or the 1.0, his mouth. There's no real indication of mouth. It's there, but they use this really light color, and they didn't distinguish the mouth enough that it stands out. Articulation on the figure is the same as the 1.0. It does have a ball joint, which seems to move a lot easier, I found, than the 1.0. Left and right, up and down. Also, he has hinged shoulders, which seem to rotate also a lot more easier than the original Robocop. The Robocop could only move it out to about there, whereas this particular Robocop, the 3.0, rotates the arms a lot further out. They also do rotate back and forth, bend in the elbow. This one is a little stiffer, the bend in the elbow right there. Still not going to get any further than that. It's not going to let you bend any more than that. It does rotate at the forearm as well. No waist swivel or anything like that. And then the legs go forward, back, out. Bend at the knee, and rotation in the leg. The one thing I don't really like about the figure is when you bend the knee, you can see this big gaping gap where they've got the small joint underneath, and it just looks like he loses most of his leg when he bends at the knee. No articulation or anything in the ankle, and no peg holes or anything underneath on the feet. I like the figure. I don't know which one I like more. This one obviously is truer to the original Robocop series, but I kind of like the stealth suit as well. This Robocop, I'm going to give him a 6.5. Today's toy spot, we're having a look at the Jada toys Robocop reboots. We're looking at the 3 3/4 inch Robocop 3.0.